Okay guys, first off, we've been working. You see this tank here? Now it's all, we got it moved all the way against the wall right here. So it's back as far out of our way as possible. And so now we got more space here. We also moved this so that we can get past it. Hey Joshy. Hey Bart. We can get past it and get back here to these tanks, which is what we got to move next. And to get them moved, they're not going to fit through here. We got to get them all the way through this little spot, past this area here, and then it's going to sit right here in front of the Bellagio.
I just got to settle this tank. I can get that 6-foot over here, but either this needs moved or sold so I can get the other 4-foot over here.
I see. But how are we going to get past this? This whole corner right here.
Push the sump out of the way.
So I'll move the sump again. Okay. So that means we're moving this 180 first. Okay. What's that?
This tank, to make this happen, this tank is going to have to slide over 2 foot and go up and touch the Bellagio. So I don't want a tank right here in front of it.
Making more plans. Okay. Well, Josh is here doing something. Got the door open. I wouldn't close it and he just opened it back up, so obviously he's carrying something in. I'm not going out there in barefoot, and it's 19 degrees outside. But let me see. We've got to get rid of this fish tank out of here now. That was the old saltwater tank. We moved all that into the 195, so this is just a sump, a protein skimmer, a tank, just in our way. So let me see. We did move the sump over here. For now, we can start working on this. Let me go back here. There we go. So we got access to the whole bottom side and this. Somebody said something about the seams have leaks and holes in them. They don't. This thing holds water, and now it's painted. It held water before it was painted, so. But you see this here, this thing constantly leaks. Ever since we put the turtle in there, and then we put the catfish in there, the albino catfish. It started, getting holes in it, so that will never happen with this in here. Okay, we figured it out. Josh has a tour here of about 10 people, and they're from a company that had people flying from all over the United States, so they had to come today. Now, they're not going to be able to see much with these tanks here, but let me get out of here. That explains the door being open. So while he's in there doing that, we'll come out here. Look at this guy. Right here at the top. Get a good view of him now. He is just gorgeous. There goes one of the big prune sharks, another one. All three of them are right there. Nice. And like I said, we moved that saltwater stuff all out to there. The front's steaming up a little bit because it's heated inside and it's colder air out here. It reminds me, it brings me back to this. In the wintertime, if we open that door, this water's at 84 degrees. And if we'll open the door, it's like 19 degrees outside. We open that cold air comes in, and boom, instantly a big cloud appears above this pond. It looks so cool. There's both Pimas. Over here, he's coming out with the tour, so. We did get the globe set back up, and it's running through its little wet dry system there, so it's good to go. We got to put the puffer back in it yet. The turtles have been doing good in there. We actually got somebody coming by that is interested in the tortoises and has a nice place for them, so I'm going to go ahead and see how that works out. These plants seem to be growing good in here. They're all reaching, if you can see, they're all reaching for this skylight right here. So. Okay, here is the saltwater tank inside, and there's some fish over there, some of the clowns, all the crabs and the shrimp are all in here, and the live rock is just to keep it alive until we get the big tank set up. And this happens to be back here behind the 3 tanks behind the pool. The pool's out there. Let me get over here where this bright light ain't in our way. There we go. The pool's out there. This is the back side of the sign. So this is our storage. Different things that we've kept. You know, we kept all the huge ships so we can make a themed tank if we wanted. And drawers full of all kinds of different stuff. FX parts. I mean, we just keep everything we can, and things that we need we have in the drawers, hopefully. You know, it works out. And more drawers here and stuff like that. We got up here, let me get over this diving board. We happen to have this one's a whole tub full of power heads that work. The bigger heaters that we don't sell. Big pumps, regular pumps. And then we've got air pumps and all kinds of stuff down here. This is airline. This one here, I don't know what that one is. Oh, the big fish room pumps. We got 2 extra of those, so we're keeping them aside. And here's our extra lighting. And up there is our turtle food that we got in a pallet full of. So we've been using that up as best as we can. But coming out of this, we have the 1,000 gallon, and the Dorado seemed to mellow out after we got them other fish out of here. That other jowl, he mellowed out. Him and the gourami get along good, but a 1,000 gallon tank for those 2 fish is, you know, wasteful. Let me see, take a look outside. Oh my God, it's 19 degrees out here. It's cold. We ain't looking out there. All right. Ouch. Oh, man. Okay, so there's a little more than 10 people. But all these plants are really doing good. So they're growing in here for the winter. A lot of times we have them die off. There's our pregnant female. And look at the size of this clown knife. This guy's huge. And of course, our goonch. These tiles are 12 inches, so he's at an angle. So there's 12, 24, almost to the end of that one. So he's at an angle, so he's definitely 30 inches. And our big jowl cat's there. This tank. See all the stuff on the front window? It's all cloudy as can be. Look at that. It's terrible looking. This tank is forever filthy. Fish. We're back to even the bird of paradise is still growing good in here. Oh. Let me see what other fish we can find. The albino iridescent. There's an albino alligator gar. Or I'm sorry, platinum alligator gar. There's the 2 big platinums.
I actually had them all.
Okay, they passed by. We can come back over here. I'd like to get this lid to this built because all this heat's escaping, and you know they're hanging out on top of the heating pad or under the lights, and I can incorporate that heat in there by putting the lid on. If I can get to it today. We're definitely moving the puffer back in here today. Let me see this tank here. This is the same water that's throughout every tank in there. But see, you look over there, you're like, oh, that tank's clean. Oh, that tank's dirty. No, it's just the slime on the window. It's all the water is crystal clear. Half the time the fish look like they're just floating in air, no water. It's the dirtiness of the glass and stuff like that that makes each tank look dirty. Then over here, there's the arowana. Oh, there's the Paraeva, the GATF, or VATF, and the albino goonch back there. Nice. And you saw the salt water looking down, and well, look how cloudy it looks here. That's just stuff on the window, glass. All the rest of them, it's all the same water. Them are all the same. It don't look like the same water, does it? But yeah, it's all passed through. Look at these guys. Someone again asked about his head. No, that's a birth defect. It was like that when we got him, not as bad, and as he gets bigger, seems like it's getting worse. So his head just cocks off to the side. I like how the alligator guards kind of hang together. Their little click. That way, if you're swimming, if one bites you, the others can bite you too. I'm kidding. Oh yeah, the cichlids. There's the big alligator gar. And another one. And another one. And another two over there. That albino iridescent shark. And that albino giant gourami. There's the other albino iridescent shark. Alrighty. So anyways, right now we're in a wait state because all these tanks have been painted and the curing time is 10 days. So during this time, we can get, things moved around, but we can't really put water in them until the curing period is over with. So, let me see, there's only a couple things we can do. Oh, people ask us why we didn't paint the floor. Because we painted the garage floor, and anytime it gets wet, it is slippery as can be. I have fallen in the garage. It's dangerous. Don't like it. We're used to these floors the way they are. And even when there's water on them, they're not slippery at all. So we opted not to paint the floors while we have this apart. Now, we can move them. I told you about that. We do have room to move them out. And we can move that tank. The rest of it, those have to stay until we get the tanks in and we can put them back. So they're in our way. But we've got access to where we can feed all the tanks and everything is good. So in the meantime, we're going to be, just like we did the inside, we're going to take and, wire brush the outside of this. Oh, that's what people probably saw. See how this has got gaps between it? It's stitch welded all the way down. This panel is welded to the side panel, and that was tested with water. It's stitch welded onto this frame. So they probably saw them gaps there and thought it was leaking or it would leak there or something. So mystery solved. That's where that comment came from. But yeah, this thing here was tested with water in it for 3 days. Full. So in the meantime, we're going to... let me see. We're gonna, sand this, take this, wire brush it down, and then paint this with the 415 on the outside, black. So I'm gonna do the top, the both sides, and the whole bottom. And then when we put it in place here, I'll be able to paint this side that it's sitting on now. Because if you notice, it's sitting up like this, so it's sitting on its face. That we'll paint once it's up. So, and these ones here were covered with primer. They come from a different company. So these I can paint anytime, but we're going to go ahead and use the same, same 415 rust inhibitor paint and cover them up. Just because everything else in our room is black with the tank, so why leave the tanks gray with the primer? So we're going to go ahead and get that done in the next, I think we got 8 more days for the tanks to be done cured. So that ain't much work to do in that time, but we're in no hurry because we can't do nothing until that curing time is done. So we're getting it done. But I tell you what, when that 10 days is done, instantly we got to take down the sump, put the new sump up, hook it up, get it piped in to the pumps and all that stuff, and then get it filled back up, and then we can start on the 2 tanks. We're gonna, once the sump's in, we can move the fish out of the 3000, the big pacu and stuff. And let me see here. We can take the fish out of there, put it right into the sump, and then, we can cut out the old 3000 and move the new 3000 in there. So it's like, we're not in a hurry for the next 8 days, but then it's gonna be a hurry real quick because we're able to move a lot real quick. All right, well, just trying to keep you updated on what the situation around here, and You know, as always, stay fishy, my friends.